to our public council meeting for September 7th, 2021. May the meeting begin. And you see before you, council, the agenda tonight as listed. You also see a mid-year budget update from the Corporate Services and Economic Development Committee. That's part of the agenda, even though it's not in the electronic portion of the kit. Can I get a motion, please, to adopt the agenda? Moved by Councillor Antle, seconded by Councillor Fry. Thank you very much. All in favor? And those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. I should make note of that. We're going to move on right now to the minutes of the previous public council meeting, which was August 24th. And I'd like to call for some commentary about corrections or omissions, please. Hearing none, I heard the words looks good. Okay, fair enough. I'll call for a motion now to adopt the minutes, moved by the Deputy Mayor and seconded by Councillor Antle. All in favor? Contraminded? Carried. Thank you very much. Any business arising, council? Please quote the item number from the minutes.
Your worship, number 455.
455. Hang on now, as we catch up to.
It's Deputy Mayor brought up requesting about, do we get any more information about the taxis or little taxi licenses? Did that get updated? I know it was only last week, so.
Director Collins, please.
I have been working with staff to piece that together, look at some of the data.
Yeah.
Because there's some factors anecdotally and also getting some of the data. So that will come through our next committee meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything further, council, from the previous council meeting? Hearing none. I'm about to move on. Okay, next item is our, we have a proclamation for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, which is September of 2021. Here in good color, the color of teal represents ovarian cancer. So this month we recognize those who have died and offered support to those who continue to fight for their lives. Whereas the Canadian Cancer Society estimates that close to 3,000 women and girls of all ages will be diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2021, and that 63% of these women and girls will not live to see 5 years. Whereas ovarian cancer is the most fatal gynecological cancer in Canada, and yet the survival rate of women diagnosed with ovarian cancer in Canada has not changed in 50 years. And whereas early detection of the disease remains the best way to save lives, however, there is no reliable screening test for ovarian cancer. Symptoms include abdominal pressure or bloating, digestive problems, excessive fatigue, frequent urination, and changes in bowel habit. And whereas the Women of Hope group was created in 2016 and now has over 2,700 members worldwide. The group's mandate is to offer support for affected women, their families and friends, and to raise awareness for ovarian cancer and encourage the Teal movement. Therefore, be it resolved that I, the Mayor of Mount Pearl, on behalf of my colleagues on council, I do hereby proclaim September as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and I fixed my signature there. And I know Susan Glynn, the late Susan Glynn, her sister will also will sign that later on. And Susan Glynn was no stranger to this chamber, having come in here several times and led the fight against ovarian cancer in her own personal way. And I see Councillor Fry, we still have the original documentation when we first met Susan. I think that was 3 years ago. Yeah. Councillor Fry, would you like to speak?
Yes, the first time I met Susan, we had a great chat about ovarian cancer. And to be honest with you, I knew very little about it. And being a woman, it's the kind of thing that you would expect that I would know. So we talked in length on a number of occasions. And Susan started this group, Women of Hope, for that exact reason. When she was diagnosed, not many people were aware of ovarian cancer and of the different symptoms and things, and she knew very little. So she looked for support and support groups, and none existed. So Susan, being Susan, created her own, and now it has grown worldwide. And it's the work that this lady has done in her lifetime far outweighs anything that the average person would ever do for this particular disease. And this is one of the things that she was really proud about. It's called the 4B poster. And this talks about the different symptoms, 4 Bs. So the B is bloating, bladder, bowel, and blah. And of course, teal is the color of ovarian cancer. And that says T for time, take time to get examined, E, seek advice, A, and live your life, L, so teal. Take time, get examined, seek advice, and live your life. And do you know, Susan had this poster translated in, I don't know, 15 or 16 languages worldwide. And this poster is now worldwide, and it is the standard for ovarian cancer. And it all came from Susan from here. So this is one thing. I know she worked so hard to create awareness, and this is something that we will continue in her honor because it's a very important message to be sent. Thank you.
Susan would be proud that we're talking here tonight, but not proud of, we're proud of Susan, but she wants to make sure we continue to talk about the message. She's such an inspiration. Deputy Mayor Locke.
Your worship, yes, Councillor Fry said it so eloquently. Susan was a strong advocate. She reached out multiple times to council. She appeared here as well. And I remember speaking with her, the symptoms, and she emphasized this, they're so commonplace, like many people might experience these and sort of pass them off. So she would always drive home that, don't take things for granted. And as Councillor Fry just said, there's no reliable screening for ovarian cancer. But again, get tested, communicate with your doctors, and don't put off these symptoms because they seem commonplace, but they could be related to this affliction here. And also, I am sure if we put the request there, we could probably get our city hall lit in teal if it's not already done so for the month of September to honor our dear friend Susan, and also to bring awareness to this proclamation here today for September being the awareness for ovarian cancer. Thank you, Your Worship.
You're very welcome. Thank you, sir. Any further commentary? Okay, well, we'll take that proclamation and return it to the folks at with ovarian cancer, and we're very proud to bring that in here today. Now, moving along in the agenda, you will see before you the next committee report, which I believe is the Planning and Development Committee. Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Okay, first on our committee report this evening, it's a variance request for number 5 Kelburn Place. So the committee recommends approval of a 10% variance to the maximum allowable floor area for an accessory building. It's 61.325 square meters at 5 Kelburn Place. And further recommends that a development permit be issued subject to section 6.2 accessory buildings of the Mount Pearl Development Regulations 2010 and subject to the conditions as set out by the Department of Community Development. And background information related to this file at 5 Kelburn Place is available upon request. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Fry, seconded by Councillor Antle. Any further discussion? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you.
So next we have our development permit list for the period of August the 23rd to September the 3rd. And the committee recommends that the following development permit be approved and as presented for this particular period. In the first one here, we have the River Rascals for an open air assembly use at the Sunrise Trail. They do great work. So I'm happy to see this one, and I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Fry and seconded by Councillor Antle. The River Rascals have been around for a long time, and I guess this is a renewal. And it's great the work they do there along the Sunrise Trail and looking after our youth as well as educating them at the same time. I'll call the question. All in favor? And those contrary? Motion carried. Thank you.
Next, we have our building and occupancy permit listing. So the committee recommends that the building permits issued for the period of August the 23rd to September the 3rd, showing a total construction value of $1,106,900 be approved, and further that the occupancy permit list be accepted as presented. And these are outlined here in your kit. It's the usual decks, accessory buildings, exterior renovations, widening driveway, that type of thing. And I so move.
Again, moved by Counselor Fry, second by Counselor Antle. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed and carried.
Your worship, do we need another motion for the occupancy permit?
No, I don't believe so. Are you thinking the occupancy permits issued and one is in my name?
No, I was just wondering if we needed a separate motion for that.
No, we're all good. Thank you.
In that case, that's it for our report this evening.
Well done. The next item is the Corporate Services and Economic Development Committee report. Counselor Antle, please.
Your worship, we have a few here tonight, but we'll move right along. The number one is for invoices approval as usual for a total of $524,942.09. And I'll open out a few of those. One of them is our tipping fees for our garbage to the city of St. John's, $48,338.44. A couple of things you might notice there was number 6 is for the Go Bus for the month of July for $37,425.51. And also for Metrobus for the month of July, $101,960.21. So we certainly do take part in the regional commission and we pay our fair share. And I so move.
Again, moved by Counselor Antle, seconded by Counselor Fry. Small total for the invoices this particular time.
Yeah, we were good. We never had a lot of bills this month.
That must make our manager of finance very happy.
I think we did a lot in August. So, right, for the payment register for August the 20th to August the 31st, you see there's a total there of $2,948,432.90. And some of them I was looking at earlier on is that for Western Star and Freightliner trucks, we have new trucks now for our snow fleet. And that's the big part is $1.5 million. So we're looking forward to see these new trucks on the road pretty soon. And that's just for your information.
Speaking of trucks, I got to back you up.
Yeah.
I'd like to call the motion for the invoices for approval, please. All in favor?
Oh, good.
And all in favor? And those opposed? Now, if I could ask a question, and Director Antle knows where I'm going with this, I hope. Western Star, Freightliner trucks, EPOC. And I've always had, not a pet peeve, but I've always had not a concern, but I wanted to see some growth in our salting that we could do. Does the EPOC system help us with sidewalk salting, Director?
Thank you, Your Worship. The EPOC system is a trade name, so we refer to it as EPOC. It's from a manufacturer of that name. So it does provide us with the ability to salt both on the left and right of the vehicle as well as in the center. So yes, that will provide us the ability to salt sidewalks as well.
Yeah, because the traditional salt truck salts to the center of the road, away from the sidewalk. So the versatility of this truck, like we needed to purchase new salt trucks, but the fact now you could go up the street, salt the center, you basically can salt to the left, to the right, and aim the salt. And I think that's really going to benefit our pedestrians in this coming winter. Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, I was going to further, and maybe Director Anter can speak this a little further. Because one of the things we talked about at the Infrastructure Public Works Committee, and I know we brought it up, I think, last year, and we looked into it, is how we can target the salt restricted to the areas that we want it to land, because many times it'll bounce under certain conditions. It'll bounce and it may actually bounce off the street, off the sidewalk and into the adjacent areas. But we have sort of a dampening system. So I don't know if Director Anter could to speak to that, just to inform the residents how we are taking measures. Again, another example of looking for ways to be more nimble, more efficient, and cost saving. So I don't know if Director could expand on that a little further.
So true.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Yes, with this EPOC system, we also have applied to this truck. It's called a pre-wet application. So it's actually a salt water kind of content. It's a brine approach. So the brine is actually added, sprayed onto the salt as it's discharged onto the road, effectively making like a slurry. So when it hits the road, it doesn't bounce anymore. It'll actually be wet when it hits the road, and then it sticks. So effectively it gives it a better opportunity. So instead of like lots of times salt has to have snow for it to hit and create like a slurry mixture, which is what creates the de-ice mixture. This actually is already in that application when it hits the road. So it's more efficient use. So we think that's going to be effective as well.
And a more efficient use is typically better environmental as well. You'll use less salt, you better bang for I won't say the buck, but better bang for the amount of salt used. Mm.
And research shows you could save up to 25%, as much as 25% actually could bounce and go off your road surface and sidewalks.
Mm.
So this is another great initiative by our Infrastructure Public Works Department, again, to be a little more efficient. So thank you for that, Director.
Any further questions on the payment register or the invoices? Counselor Antle, the floor is back to you.
All right, then we'll move to number 3, our tax deferral for low income earners. You see there's 2 there. This is something we do constantly. It's for low income earners. We have a tax deferral program, and there's 2 there, for one for $1,161.56 and another one there for $1,388.76. And this is only a tax deferral. It'll actually be paid whenever property is sold. So it's a deferral, and I so move.
Moved by Counselor Antle and seconded by Counselor Fry. This is a standard transaction according to our long-standing policy. I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? Carried.
And number 4 is a change order in our professional service in relation to the development and delivery of our workplace conflict management. This is all within budget, and this is something we found some weaknesses in the program we were offered, and total is $8,600 plus HST, and I so move.
Again, moved by Counselor Antle, second by Counselor Fry. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Motion carried.
And number 5 is our facade improvement program, and this is something that we budgeted for in our budget. We had, I think if I remember correctly, we had $25,000 in that program for this year. And this certainly helps our economic development team when they're going around the city looking for helping businesses to grow and how to get the businesses looking better. And, you know, they're constantly, it's a little program. It's not a lot of money, but we went to, and it's a full program. You know, they have to apply, and it's not just, we just don't give them money, but it has to meet a lot of criteria. And this business here is on 48 Commonwealth Avenue, Campbell Wellness. You can see the building's being renovated right now. And the grant amount is for $9,000, and I so move.
Again, moved by Counselor Antle, seconded by Counselor Fry. Yeah, they're doing a great job in the
Yeah, it
building.
looks fabulous.
Yeah, they're really reinvesting, which is good to see. No questions. I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? Motion carried.
Now, this one here might take a little bit longer, but we'll
Take your time.
something we do every year. It's our mid-year budget update, the budget that Councillor Fry delivered last year. And we as a council, we delivered the budget, and we all work together, and we work together on the budget. Last December, we as a council stood before you and presented the 2021 budget for the city of Mount Pearl. Our budget 2021 was a unique challenge for the city. COVID-19 forced us to relearn our operation and question the way we do things. The budget process last year was one that took over 8 months to complete, ensuring we challenged ourselves to deliver the best value and service for our taxpayers. Tonight, I want to take the opportunity to provide a major update, assuring our residents and business community that we remain focused on making the best long-term plans for the community, and our solid financial position enables us to do that. As a city, we make projected revenues out to 3 years. However, last year, we extended those projections to 5 years. We continuously monitor our revenues and expenditures to make sure we maintain a balanced budget. As of July 31st, the city has collected 99% of taxation revenue, which is our primary source of revenue. While our taxation revenue is on target, our goods and services and municipal revenue numbers are slightly down from where they were projected. The realities of COVID-19 require a significant change to the operation of all city facilities, including closures, reduced programming, reduced rental revenue. This impact was resulting in a decrease in projected revenue by 20%, or $254,000. Municipal revenues are also down this year, mainly due to decreased permit applications and lower than expected traffic violation fines. We anticipate this revenue to be down 49% against target, or an estimated $537,000. That said, overall, the city is projecting to collect 97% of all revenue, despite the impact of COVID-19 has on our operation this year. In budget 2021, the city reduced operating expenditures by $2.5 million in an effort to balance the notable projected decrease in revenue. Throughout this year, we have reduced operational spending, controlling costs, and subsequently have spent 54% of our city operating budget year to date. While we focus on controlling costs, we maintain our commitment to advancing our mission, leading the way as a progressive, family-oriented, and business-friendly city, providing quality services. In a balanced and forward-looking manner, the city has strategically invested $7.5 million so far this year in important capital projects. continued investment in digital transformation on all our core finance systems, as well as a 60,000 investment in our server upgrades. Support for our community groups and associations with over $350,000 committed to operating subsidies for organizations including Admiralty House, the Seniors Independence Group, and the Mount Pearl Sports Alliance. A $300,000 allocation to the implementation of initiatives outlined in the city center plan. There was another $750,000 allocated to develop a new splash pad and ice skating rink or ice skating surface at the part of the recently announced Civic Center as a replacement for Park Place. Over $2.3 million were allocated to our fleet renewal, allowing us to maintain service standards in an important key work such as snow clearing and field maintenance, which we just talked about a few minutes ago. Important upgrades to road work, including water and sewer upgrades in key locations around the city. Lastly, but equally as important, this year we invested over $175,000 in our people as a commitment to the implementation of important initiatives outlined in our employee engagement plan. As you can see from our capital expenditures, we are working hard to build a city that people want to live in and work in. Throughout the course of this year, we will continue to manage and monitor our revenue and expenses as outlined in Budget 2021. We are committed to a balanced budget and at present are not projecting a deficit, which of course is subject to change. We realize how hard our residents and businesses work, and the stewards of the public taxpayers, we debate every dollar spent in our city to ensure your hard-earned money is working for you. Our budget process for 2022 has started, and I have every confidence that we will once again deliver a forward-looking yet fiscally responsible budget for this city, in one line with our vision to become a smart city of engaged citizens, leading the way in sustainable growth. Thank you.
The bottom line I hear is that, like we've done 3 years in a row, we won't be running a deficit for the year. We're on track, and I believe the revenue decrease is primarily due to COVID. And usually in that case, the delivery services, say at the Summit and the Glacier, those costs are down. The most important thing here for everybody to think about is the municipal tax revenue, which I believe is 99% on schedule being collected, and we don't lose many. We don't lose any property taxes. We don't lose on the commercial. We never lose any on the residential because of the nature of the lien we can put on the properties. Every now and then there might be a little bit of business tax, which is not recoverable from a tenant. But by and large, our finance department has a great track record in terms of collections. We have sound internal controls, and I have to compliment staff and council for putting in brand new systems that will allow us to continue to be strong financially here in the city. Any thoughts, Deputy Mayor?
I just want to thank Councillor Antle for bringing this forward, and of course our finance staff for pulling it together. As we are all out banging on doors right now, and many of the residents brought up, how pleased they were with the maintaining of services. I know Mayor used the word nimble many times, and this was probably the most challenging budget that I was involved in my 14 years on council. Because they were extraordinary times, but I'm proud to say that we maintained the high level of services that we always provide. And again, many residents commented on the ability to lower property taxes as well during this particular time period. So going always, and my time around this council table, and I know all my colleagues here share the view, we take what we need. We look at what services our citizens enjoy and come to expect. And then that's the key ingredient going into our budget. So we take what is required to maintain the service delivery that our residents have come to enjoy. So thank you again, Councillor Antle, and our financial people as well for bringing this together. Thank you.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, no motion required, but a solid endorsement of where we stand, Councillor Antle, at this time in our city for 2021.
And I'd like to thank Director Pittman and our manager of economic or finance, Stephanie Hines, for doing such a good job in putting this together and put us all in good shape, even though we torment you at times. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Anything else? No, thank you again. Infrastructure and Public Works, Deputy Mayor Locke, please.
Thank you, Worship.
You're
Just for the record, I don't torment him, Councillor Rental, so just, in case anyone's taking minutes, I don't fall in that category here. Thank you, Your Worship. First item up for us here is the 2021 asphalt and concrete services update and some change orders here. The first one, the original contract recommendation for asphalt and concrete services for this year was approved, and the amount was $570,000, $713.95. And a small budget shortfall was identified. With this shortfall, we had planned to issue a negative change order in the amount of $20,883.21 to reduce the value of the contract and to ensure it was within the available budget. But upon further review of the available funding to transfer, it was confirmed that there is sufficient funding to not require the negative change order and to complete the work as tendered. So that's good. Also a note, we would have seen the work on the crosswalk at Mary Queen of the World School was replaced. And as a part of this replacement, Black and McDonald, the contractors there, recommended that the control box be located on the school side of Topsail Road as opposed to the north side of it. And therefore bollards have been installed that were filled with some concrete. This saved on running power and additional conduit across Topsail Road. But of course, it required approval and it was not in the tender. So the change order required for this was $2,760 and included 150 millimeter diameter steel bollards, as I said, filled with concrete, complete with yellow PVC sleeve and reflective strip. This money would come from the $100,000 capital funding for our traffic lights where there is budget available. The third one involves Mundane Drive. And we had several reports from our residents and our staff about potential trip hazards identified along this area. So after reassessment of the area, several trip hazards have been identified, and it's recommended that we complete a change order in the amount of $5,000 to complete additional repairs on Mundane Drive. There is no change in scope as a part of this change order. There is available budget remaining within the 2021 asphalt and concrete services funding to complete this additional work. And as we know, there's a lot of traffic in this area, given the area of our school-age children. So I thought it prudent on our staff to recommend and proceed with this work. And the fourth one, Your Worship, has to do with Newfoundland Power. They submitted a quote acceptance form to perform the power transfer to the new poles in the area of Mary Queen of the World School on Topsail Road. And this quote acceptance form quotes an hourly rate and an estimated 4 to 8 hours. So the estimated total is $1,400 to $2,800. So the engineering services folk are recommending that these change orders be approved as noted above, and I so move.
It is moved by Deputy Mayor Locke and seconded by Councillor Antle. So the bottom line here is a series of small adjustments been made to a master contract as it relates to concrete services and asphalt. We expected that we were going to use another $20,000 from budget in terms of this contract, but at the end of the day, the value was there, wasn't required. So then in number 2, number 3, number 4, we're able to accomplish additional work within budget for those small amounts of money. Is that
That's a good summary.
is it? Okay, just wanted to make sure I understood it before I vote. Any questions, Councillor Antle? Councillor Fry, all good? Director Antle, any comments you want to add to that? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? Thank you. Carried.
Thank you, Mayor. The second item for our committee has to do with the street markings, and in particular parking lot line painting. The 2021 street markings contract included costing for summer line markings, and the summer line markings were to complete the street markings on the various construction projects that were underway during this construction season, Your Worship, throughout the city. But due to the coordination concerns, it was decided to include the street markings in each of the individual tenders for this street construction. Therefore, this line painting budget can be reallocated elsewhere as required, and the total budget available is $64,325.25. Engineering Services has received multiple inquiries regarding parking lot line painting throughout the summer, and I know it was brought up here as well in the chamber and at Committee of the Whole about areas of concern, in particular, the Team Guzhou Sport Complex coming into the Reed Center entrance there. We looked at some lines to delineate where traffic could be diverted and keep people in their proper lane. So like I said, the main area was Team Guzhou Sport Complex. The Engineering Services Department, excuse me, also completed the review of parking lots throughout the city and have the following preliminary estimates to complete. The Team Gushu Sportplex is going to cost about $26,000 for the line painting up there. The Summit Center Glacier Library, $31,000. The Gloria Pearson Center, $2,000. The Ruth Avenue Sportsplex, $2,300. And Aberley House will come in at approximately $3,500. So the total amount is $64,800 in line with the budget that I mentioned previous of $64,325. So the Engineering Service Department is recommending that we reallocate the summer line markings budget to complete our parking lots that are in much need for clearer line painting. And the recommended painting is as follows: that the Team Gushu and Sportplex area complete the line painting in its entirety. The same for the Summit Center Glacier Library, completed it in its entirety. The Ruth Avenue Sportsplex, paint directional arrows as a minimum. And in the Gloria Pearson Community Center area, complete the line painting its in entirety. That's the recommendation, and we supported this at committee, and I so move.
It is moved by the Deputy Mayor and seconded by Councillor Rantle. Any questions before I ask them? No?
Just driving around the city and just taking a quick look, this is a good spend. I mean, most of the parking lots now, you can't tell where you're supposed to park. And it's great to get it done before the winter sets in and make it a lot easier. So I think it's a good decision.
Director Rantle, the asset management policy that we have would suggest we don't do the parking lots every year. We do the streets, the crosswalks, some of the more heavily trafficked areas such as the Summit Center. What's the frequency normally? Because this is not a yearly initiative. This is typically done every so many years. What's your thoughts?
You're correct, Your Worship. It varies on the parking lots depending on use, of course. So we don't put them on an annual basis. So in the case, mostly you'll see they'll probably last 4 to 5 years in between line painting, depending on their use. So some parking lots at Liberty House, you'll notice we don't have it included here at this point. It would last a fair amount longer because the use is just not the same.
Right.
So that's our recommendation.
Yeah, looks good. Okay, thank you very much. And of course, a lot of these areas is where our youth are playing. And I know I had a contact with the Mount Pro Soccer about the Ruth Avenue Sportplex. And the issue there was basically the direction that the traffic was flowing. But I would add, if we could add one more takeaway to this, could we contact the English School Board? Because that parking lot that we're talking about at Ruth Avenue is the interior parking lot next to what is known as the sand pitch field. Right. The traffic has to navigate through the Mount Pearl Senior High parking lot. So if we could also pass that on to them in terms of a request to get that done as well, it will work hand in hand with what we're trying to do. Further thoughts? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? And that motion is carried as well. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. The third item for our committee involves the design build services, and this is for the Badcock Place reconstruction project that's ongoing. We have 2 change orders here, change order 5 and change order 6. The requested change order number 5 from Pyramid Construction, and this is a delay claim. This occurred on July the 12th of 2021. Water was arranged to be shut down on site to connect the water main at Jeffers to the new water main in Badcock Place. So Pyramid had the crew and equipment on site, and excavation opened up at 7 a.m. to the underground infrastructure. Our crews arrived on site to shut off the water as planned. But once the water was shut off, a large number of houses outside the shut-off zone had lost their water, and this was sort of unexpected. Numerous residents approached our city inspectors regarding lost water without notification. So our utilities maintenance was unable to quickly locate the issue, and the decision was made in collaboration with engineering services to abandon the connection and reschedule another day to give our utilities maintenance time to troubleshoot the issue. The contractor then had to close up the excavated area. Time and material breakdown of the claim equaled $3,818.25 plus HST. The second requested change order, number 6, was for a full driveway replacement at Civic number 5 Badcock due to the water main on the topographic survey being shown in the incorrect location. Pyramid Construction had to replace the entire driveway instead of a portion as per the original scope. And the cost of this replacement, about 250 feet, was replaced at $4 a foot. came in at $1,000 plus HST. So engineering services is recommending that the IPW committee and council authorize payment of $4,390.99. This includes HST for the two change orders as outlined. That's for change order number 5 and $1,150 HST included for change order number 6 for a total change order value of $5,540.99, including HST. And I so move.
It is moved again by the deputy mayor, seconded by Councillor Antle. Further thoughts? This is really just adjusting quantities at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded and carried.
The fourth item for us, your worship, is involving the Topsail Road asphalt renewal of 2021. And this is a request for change order number 1. The city's in the process of adding a left turning lane to the Core Sand and Clyde Avenue intersection as a part of our 2021 Topsail Road asphalt renewal project. And there have been previous drainage issues at 27 Clyde Avenue. And as the intersection was being upgraded, concerns were raised that the drainage issues could worsen. So to correct this, engineering services has assessed the area and determined that a catch basin would be the proper solution. As a result, the department is requesting a change order payable to Modern Paving in the amount of $19,364.85, including HST. And engineering services is recommending approval of this change order to Modern Paving in that said amount. And committee was in support of this, and I so move.
Again, moved by the deputy mayor and seconded by Councillor Antle. Any questions? All in favor? Contrary-minded, carried. Thank you.
Thank you, your worship. And the last 3 are just for information with respect to our public works, some status updates. Bulk garbage pickups are ongoing. And of course, our road maintenance, signage, garbage collection and recycling are ongoing. We may have to modify as Hurricane Larry is rearing its head south of us and working our way. But as always, we'll give timely notification to our residents should there be any change to our scheduled pickups. The capital project status updates, upcoming tenders, Park Avenue asphalt renewal, the Commonwealth Bridge and the Duns Road Bridge repair for 2021. They are upcoming. And with respect to our facility maintenance,
Excuse me.
sorry,
Just a quick note on the Park Avenue. That's for next year. We'll be doing Park Avenue this year, right?
Director Antle?
Our plan is to do some temporary repairs. We've already done some on
That's
the bridge on Dunn's Corner.
Yeah.
So we'll do the temporary repairs this fall and do the permanent repair through next year.
So when you say you're calling for a tender,
Uh,
that's the
the
tender for next year?
No, the tender is just closed. So
Okay.
we'll be assessing that now, making a recommendation to council shortly.
Okay.
Please, Councillor Fry.
In terms of bulk garbage pickups, when is the latest if a resident wanted to schedule an appointment?
Thank you, Councillor Fry. We'll go as long as we possibly can until the season actually closes, I'll say, for winter time. So we'll be flexible when it comes to that. Generally speaking, we'll get as far as October before the weather is such that it's salting in the evening times. So we'll try to take bulk garbage appointments as far as we can.
Sounds good.
Good question.
Back to you, Deputy Mayor, I think.
Yeah, the last one was involved facility maintenance. Just to note that our maintenance is ongoing and our field light maintenance is also ongoing. And that's it for the Infrastructure Public Works Committee report, your worship, and I thank you.
Well, Deputy Mayor, thank you very much. And to all my colleagues on council, it's been a good meeting, but it's not quite over yet. I'm trying to establish who was first the last time. And I'm almost there. It was Councillor Antle. So Deputy Mayor Locke, you're up.
There's nothing for me, your worship.
Councillor Fry.
I'll take his. Just a couple of things. First of all, yesterday was Labor Day, and I think it's important that we send out a thank you to our staff because I don't know about you guys, but going door to door and hearing how proud our residents are of our services and the nice compliments that they pay. Of course, as much as we'd like to take credit, it's not us, it's you guys. So I just want to wish you all a happy and safe Labor Day. I know it's over, but it's important to acknowledge. Also, coming up, we have registration for the 807 Mount Pearl Air Cadets. Now, this is a great program.
Mm.
It's for ages between the ages of 12 and 18. They meet Sunday afternoon and Wednesday evenings. This is a free program, a free youth program. And the skills that they learn are incredible. So I wanted to bring this forward for the information of the public because it's a great organization and highly recommend it. Big congratulations to two of our soccer teams. This past weekend, Mount Pearl didn't win just one gold medal, they won two. The boys under 13 won a gold medal, and of course they couldn't be, the girls had to show them that the girls can do it as well. And the girls under 13 also won a gold medal. So congratulations to all the players on making us proud, as always. And speaking of sports, there's something that's pretty special, actually. As you guys know, Mount Pearl Special Olympics is very active within our community. And there's one gentleman by the name of Andrew Hines, who we all know because we play floor hockey against him every Frosty Festival. And he has been chosen to carry the torch in the 2022 Special Olympics in Russia. So this winter in January, he's going to Moscow, and he and 9 other athletes will begin more than 800 kilometers, the journey to bring the flame of hope to the city of Kazan, where it will then light the Special Olympics cauldron. So what an incredible honor for Andrew and all of the Special Olympians. And we're so very proud of him. He's such a great guy. Kids and teachers are back to school. I think teachers started today. So, I want to wish them a safe and successful school year. I know there's been a lot of challenges over the last year. So, God willing, this one will be as normal as possibly could be. So a safe and successful year to all the teachers and kids. And also for motorists to watch out for the streets tomorrow, because there's going to be a lot of perhaps reluctant and or happy kids on their way back to school. And finally, for me, September the 13th to the 19th is a special week for Tim Hortons because they have their Smile Cookie promotion. And this is a great promotion because 100% of the price before taxes goes to help local charities and organizations within our community. So that's an opportunity for them to give back. So I highly encourage everybody, if you want to do an act of kindness or you want to brighten somebody's day and you want to say a thank you to somebody, perhaps you know them well, perhaps you don't know them at all. I guarantee you, if you give them a smile cookie, you'll get a smile back. So it's a great opportunity to pay it forward and give an act of kindness and support a very worthwhile charity. And that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Antle, please.
I'll be really, really quick. Now, the past 2 weeks, I've been kind of busy doing something else. I'm losing a pound a day and we're all doing good at that. It's great. Just a couple of things. I just noticed that the seniors programming is back. They had some registration today, September the 7th. And that's for Mount Pearl residents only. And then it starts again on Thursday for open registration. So I'm sure the programs are going quite well. As an interesting note, people may pay attention. If you pay attention to Facebook, you'll know the Swan is back in Power Plant. Finally, right? We were looking for the Swan, but it's back home now, and I think it's took a life of its own. And last week, 4 of us had the 4 councillors, 3 councillors and the mayor had the opportunity. We're coming birthday greeters now. I think it's a new profession, and we're doing good at it. But we went this week. We had to go to see Mrs. Flossie Party, and I won't say her age, but she's the mother of Betty Brett. We went up and wished her a very happy birthday, and she was very much appreciative. But I think we got cookies, and we could have had coffee and tea, but we all had cookies, and then we had to go back on the trail. But it was so fun to go see it. We really enjoy doing these birthdays. And on last Friday, we had the happy day to go up to our depot and wish a happy retirement to one of our longtime employees, Ernie Sharp. 31 years with the city of Mount Pearl. That's amazing. We have so many long-term employees with the city. It speaks well for our city to have somebody there that's 31 years. And I talked to Ernie, and most of his life or most of his career with the city, he certainly enjoyed it. And he's not alone. We talked to many other people at the depot that were there that long. They enjoyed the city. So, it speaks well for the management at the depot and our city staff. And that's everything for me.
Thank you all. I guess I'll finish on a more serious note, but it's good to see a lot's happening in our community, and it's great get good feedback from our residents and our businesses this time of the year. I want to bring to your attention, council, as you're aware, Hurricane Larry. We are starting to prepare for it. I talked to our CAO, Dana Spurl, this morning. And even though models are indicating quite a variation in terms of the track of the storm, we are preparing. So to quote Director Antle, we're looking at storm drainage systems, head walls, culverts. That's something we do every fall, but we are moving forward very quickly this week. We're planning to get that done, but we're also going to make sure it gets done before Friday. And I know we're looking at some of the nets and some of the infrastructure on our recreation facilities, and we're working with our community groups in that regard to ensure we get through Friday and subsequently, because it's not just about Hurricane Larry. It's hurricane season. We had Ida go through very mild for us, and here in Newfoundland and Labrador. But the key is we're preparing to get ready for the storm, but we're also preparing to get ready with communication. So I want to encourage everybody to have a look at their back gardens, their front yards. Even candidates for the election will have to come up with a plan. No decisions are being made at this point in time, but I think it's incumbent on all of us to start thinking about Friday and where we want to be on that day if that hurricane hits with even the strength of a tropical storm can do quite a bit of damage. We don't know if it's going to be a rain event or a wind event, but we have to prepare for it all. So I want to thank staff, Dana, for you and staff for sitting down and getting the ball rolling for that. And I know based on past experience, when I look at the state of emergency we had back in, I think that was in 2019, and how we handled COVID, which at times was an emergency, even though I know it felt like a marathon. I'm very confident in our staff to ensure the safety of our residents. And I know you'll keep us all informed as the week progresses. CAO Spurl, would you like to comment on that?
Thank you, Your Worship. We had already begun looking at our emergency management plan going into storm season. So we were thinking along these lines anyway, but certainly this week we're taking a closer look so that we can be prepared. And we're going to continue to monitor the forecasts and work with provincial officials over the next couple of days. But as you said, just encourage everybody to do your own part in your own household and check your ditches, your drains, make sure you're prepared. Environment Canada has a great emergency preparedness guide for those who are wondering what to do, and you should be prepared for 72 hours. So hopefully we won't need it, but we will keep communications open if we do.
Yep. Thank you very much. Council, any comments or questions? I think it's going to be the news story of the week, possibly. So yeah. So hopefully everybody's getting ready for it. And there you go. Yeah. Well, on that note, I'd like to finish by welcoming some new people to the table. We have Lisa Warren, of course, is our Executive Assistant from Corporate Services. She's busy taking the notes here today, and I want to welcome Ms. Warren for coming here today and spending a bit of time with us for a function, frankly, that captures all the decisions and all the discussion that takes place at Council. Stephanie Hines is here representing Director Pittman. Stephanie Hines is our Manager of Finance, and Brandon Mullins is there with the technical side today. Brandon, our marketing coordinator, welcome to you all, and to all our other staff who I see here every 2 weeks and in between, our directors and our CIO. It's great to see you all, and a pleasure as always to work with you. So council, on that, I'm going to accept a motion to adjourn, and that's Councillor Fry, seconded by the Deputy Mayor, and we are adjourned.